Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? Welcome to Review Sesh. If you've been here before, I really appreciate you coming back to visit me. And if you haven't been here before, give me just one moment. Let me tell you a little bit about who I am and what I do. So my name's Mike, and what I do is I review federally legal hemp products and devices. So it doesn't really matter whether it's a consumable product of any kind or whether it's a functional device of any type. We're going to be looking at all of that stuff on this channel. I really do hope you enjoy the content that I'm making for you. So guys, today we're not looking at a flower review. You guys know I love my flower reviews and I love my occasional concentrate reviews. We're not looking at either of those. We're not looking at any edibles. We're not doing anything of the like. Today we're actually checking out something that you guys aren't usually used to seeing me looking at or reviewing. And we're looking at a Benjamin, guys, of all things. I'm really excited about actually checking this one out. The hardware on it looks really, really interesting. Um, but before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to kick it back to the previous me. And he's going to go ahead and he's going to reiterate a little bit about what we do on this channel. And he might even be able to explain a little bit about what THCA is, if some of you may still be unsure about what that is. And then after that, we're going to be hopping right into this review. All right, as you guys know, I review federally legal hemp products and devices on this channel. And some of these products have THCA in the name. And THCA is one of those things that has an awful lot of people confused right now. So if you're one of those people that's confused, give me just one moment. Let me explain a little bit. I might be able to educate you a little bit about what THCA actually is. And THCA stands for tetrahydrocannabinolic acid. And it's the naturally occurring compound found on all hemp plants everywhere. Basically, it's the precursor to what we know now as Delta 9, THC. All right? So in and of itself, though, guys, THCA is not psychoactive. You're not going to go out and eat a piece of a hemp plant and get any elevated effects. It does not work like that. It first has to undergo a process called decarboxylation. And decarboxylation may sound like a fancy chemistry word, and it's because it is, but it's very simple in principle. And it simply means application of heat. So it doesn't really matter whether it's environmental heat, just the heat of the sun, it's a hot day outside, or, we're applying some artificial heat with some flame or with an electronic heat source like I like to use. We are decarboxylating that THCA molecule and it's dropping that A right off the end of that molecule chain and it's leaving you with good old fashioned THC. So, guys, I want to be very clear on this. For all intents and purposes, the THC that everybody that you've ever spoken to or has ever spoken about before this, before 2018, they have been referring to THCA, the naturally occurring compound found on the plant. All right? Very clear about that. It is basically the same thing everybody's always spoken about. But the great thing is, since 2018 in the Federal Farm Bill, we can get all these things to our doors. We don't have to go out and, deal with strange people at odd times of night, potentially go out and, waste our time at the least and risk our safety at the worst. Now we just get it mailed to us, and when you get your packages in the mail, you're going to be getting something like this. This is a notice to law enforcement and the Postal Service. And it just dictates what is in the package, and it does list the applicable sections of the 2018 Farm Bill that the things in the package are covered under. Very important to hold on to these guys. You don't want to get rid of these right now. They pack flat. Just hold on to them. There's no reason to throw these out at this moment. For the foreseeable future, hold on to these and hold on to any COAs or certificates of analysis that you may have with your products. All right? All right, guys. So today we're going to be looking at another product from Realize Hemp. And today we're looking at a Benjamin, guys. We're looking at a 2-gram diamond bar. This is THCA diamonds. All right, so this is live resin. This is THCA diamonds and live resin. On the back says, "Get ready for an exhilarating and euphoric journey. Diamonds are 100% pure THC. This makes for unparalleled bliss, thoughtfully crafted with premium quality THCA, live resin, and terpenes to create the ultimate potency, taste, and smoothness in every joyful puff you take." All right, so blah, 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 THCA, less than 0.3%, blah, blah, blah. Mimosa, that's the blend that we have here, the strain. Mimosa is a blend of purple punch and clementine. The strain packs a burst of citrusy energy, leaving you uplifted, focused, and ready to seize the moment. Bright, bubbly, and bold. Your morning boost has never tasted this good. So this will be in sativa. This is sativa. This will be one of those that's gonna, you know, get you going. It's gonna be one of those that you're gonna be having with your coffee, sort of thing. Um, Now, you guys know I don't normally use a lot of vape pens, a lot of Pendulums, what have you. I don't normally deal with these devices. However, there has been occasion for me to actually really need one of these, and well, maybe not need is maybe not the right word, but prefer to have one of these on me. And one of those occasions being, when I'm traveling. If I'm traveling, if I'm visiting family, or I'm going to one of these, you know, conventions or shows or something like that, as I'm in the car, I don't smoke in my car. I don't vape, like obviously not with a ball vape in my car. I don't carry dab rigs and stuff like that and be hitting the bomb and stuff like that in the car. That's not what I do. But something like this is something more appropriate, right? I also don't drive that often, so I'm putting that out there right now. I don't consume these things when I'm driving. Um, so like, yeah, really excited to try this. This is a very sleek 2 gram. Look at that window, very wide window, all the way. Like you can see everything in there, and the hardware on here is really something I'm interested in. Very, very interesting hardware. Does appear to be postless. I mean, I don't really see much of it. You can't even see the atomizer in there, guys, which is very strange to me. That's tasty. That is very tasty. It's crazy good. And yeah, it's purple punch and clementine. Wow. Very smooth. Very, very smooth. Very smooth. Very good. So this is a blend. It's THCA diamonds blended. Does have some Delta 8 as listed on here. Um, and it has live resin terpenes. So it's got terpenes pulled from live resin from Mimosa. So they're hemp derived terpenes. You know what I mean? Very good. Very tasty. Like crazy tasty. And for a vape, it's starting to hit a little bit too. Um, Normally with these sorts of things, it takes me a little more to recognize um, what I'm getting from it than, you know, with my flower or with the dad or something like that. Normally it takes me a little more. And I think that's because these things typically hit so smooth compared to smoking a bowl or a joint or hitting, one of these or something like that. You don't even know when you're hitting one of these. I remember the first time I actually tried a pen, a cart. And the first time I tried it, I'm hitting it. I'm like, am I getting anything? What's going on? Am I getting anything? Can't even feel, anything hitting the back of the throat. You know what I mean? That normal throat hit that you would expect from smoking. And then by the time you start to actually feel it, it's too late. You've gone too far and you're coughing your head off. But yeah, um, that many of us, I think most of us probably, when we tried our first pen, that was probably our first experience, is hitting it and just like, what's the deal? And then all just expands and we're like, oh, what? This is pretty potent. It's hitting me fairly good. It is uplifting. It is uplifting. And I'm not sure what the timer is on this. It doesn't really say here. Um, all the important information's here, obviously. I would like to know a little bit more about this hardware. However, I'm not going to sweat it because the hardware it is extremely, extremely functional. Extremely functional. Very smooth hits, very easy draw. So I guess I don't really need to know much about it as long as it functions like it should. I'm really liking it though. Really liking it. Yep. That's very nice. Very, very nice. And I won't be doing that very often. You guys saw I just took a blinker there. It's not something I would normally do. It's just something kind of a little cheeky thing. I don't often hit these things, so figure may as well test the timer on it. Hmm. Flavor sticking, potency still creeping. Um, I don't think you're gonna have. You could probably just tear through this really quick without having to worry about burning out this coil. Everything's so smooth, uh, flowing in it. The draw is so smooth and everything. I think this coil is a pretty safe coil as far as not having to worry about burning anything out. Now, obviously, you don't want to do back to back to back to back to back blinkers. You're going to burn out any coil doing that. And honestly, they're not good for you guys. Don't do a bunch of blinkers. Um, occasionally to get a kick out of somebody or whatever, it's whatever. But don't make it a habit, right? Um, but yeah, these coils are whatever's in this as far as coils go, very, very functional. It's not your typical posted coil with traditional wick type of system. I can tell that right now. And I gotta say, the flavors are on point. On point. Purple punch and clementine, really heavily leaning toward the clementine. So if you guys know what clementines are, they're like a small type of orange, basically, um, or tangerine type. A clementine's basically a small tangerine. Very, very tasty. Looking at the oil, not seeing any color change, not seeing anything that would indicate any breakdown of the coil or anything like that. So far, so good. Yeah, I could see myself carrying something like this around um, with me when I'm out and about. Yeah, see myself if I had to go to a wedding or something that I didn't really want to be at. This would get me through it. You know what I mean? I don't drink anymore, so it's not as if something like a wedding or something like that would be much fun to me. I wouldn't really enjoy the reception like a lot of people would normally enjoy it. Something like this would. get me through an event like that. I don't know if any of you guys are like that, but I'm definitely the kind of person I don't do well at all in big in situations where there's a big gatherings and stuff like that. The exception, surprisingly, being last October when I went to a hemp convention in or festival in Chattanooga with Steven and the Southern Maryland Experience and Frankenstein and some Stony Weedson and some other people that I met up there with there. That was a great time. But it was out of doors. I didn't feel closed in. I'm the kind of person, if I'm going to be closed in, if I'm going to have walls around me and doors shut and stuff, it's going to be in my place, in my house. It's not going to be elsewhere. You know. So I've always had a big problem with social environments and stuff like that. And even concerts. I've been to a couple of concerts in the past, and while I enjoy the concerts, the social anxiety makes it very hard to ease into it, to get your feet wet, so to speak, and actually get to the point where you can enjoy the show. Um, and previously, years ago, I would never be caught dead going to a concert and carrying a blunt or a joint or a bowl and some other stuff because where I would be going are venues that you get checked at the door. You know what I mean? Um, something this small though, something this small is discreet enough. You don't really have to worry too much about it. And I mean, these things are overlooked just for the basis of it's a vape. Nobody pays attention to vapes these days. They're so ubiquitous, people just don't pay attention to them. Not like they would if you were using something that really stunk up the place or, drew attention in that way. I can tell you anything, if somebody smells this, they're going to think it smells delicious. They're not going to be turned off by it. Mm. And it is delicious. It's very good. And kind of ashamed to say that I'm really liking it. Um, I'll be 39 and on February 10th, guys. So at my age, getting into really enjoying something like this feels like it's for a younger generation type of thing. But at the same time, I got to remind myself, my generation was the first generation really getting into, nicotine vaping and, the big old box mods and the cloud chasing and all of that sort of goofy stuff. So, I mean, I guess there's still a place for it. It's not like I'm 50. But, yeah, I'm very happy with that. Very, very happy with that. That's going to get me through um, next time I have to leave the house. I have to worry a little bit less about the social anxiety because I have one of these around. I don't make a habit of keeping these around, guys, but I saw these and the hardware. The hardware really interests me. These 2 gram ones and the 4 gram um, vapes, Benjamins that they have at a Realize Hemp, both really, really interest me. This one I found out a little bit about. I do have a sample or two of the 4 gram um, diamond bars, and we'll be checking those out very shortly. But I do believe before we do that, I'm gonna try to enjoy my way through this one, or at least through a little bit more of it, and then we'll be coming back to look at the 4 gram diamond bars in a separate video. Um, pretty potent, pretty potent. It's got pretty good effects. It's well-rounded, though it is sativa. It is I'm feeling a little bit energetic. I feel like I want to turn on some music and dance around a little bit, do something like that. Um, yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this little review of the Realize Hemp Diamond Bar 2 gram Mimosa. Very, very nice. Very nice. So, guys, I'll be leaving you here. I want to remind you that February 10th, I'll be streaming from 12 p.m. Uh, on the 10th to 12 a.m. on the 11th Central Time. All right. So be there, hang out with me. I'll be spending as much of that day live streaming and on YouTube as I possibly can. And I hope to see you guys there. Um, if there's anything you'd like to see on my channel, just let me know. Leave me a comment. I'll make sure to get back to you as soon as possible. And I'll make sure to see what I can do about getting whatever it is you'd like to see. If there's anything you're sick of seeing or sick of hearing about, just let me know. Um, if there's anything that you see on my channel that you're interested in, the Dab Hut mats, they have really awesome mats. These devices here, um, Cozy, this thing, the Fun Fuse, any of this sort of stuff, all of that stuff can be found on my campsite.bio and my profile on YouTube. You can also find a couple of different Discord servers on there. I want to go ahead and take the time to invite you guys over to the Green World Discord server. That's where I spend most of my time. That's where you'll find me. That's where you'll find a handful of other content creators that you would recognize. So hop on over there, introduce yourself, say hello, and let's learn some stuff about our favorite plant. Um, until I see you next time, I want you to continue to take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, and take care of each other. Um, keep on focusing on the good things. Don't hunt the negative things. Count your blessings daily. Um, don't sweat the haters and the naysayers, guys. They're not the ones that are important. The ones that are important are your family, your loved ones, the ones that support you, regardless of what silly things you might do, provided you're not hurting yourself or anybody else. A true loved one should be supporting you in everything that you try to do, um, especially if it's in a creative endeavor. So I'm gonna leave you with that, guys. As always, I want you to stay lifted. I want you to stay blessed, and I'm gonna talk to you very, very soon. Peace.